Breaking news overnight of that shocking leak of a reported draft opinion from the Supreme Court.
5 justices ended the right of American women to choose abortion under the Constitution.
The biggest blow to women's reproductive rights in about 50 years.
At least 6 states.
12 states.
22 states have banned some or all abortion.
You can receive up to life in prison if you get an abortion.
We are in the midst of a public health care crisis.
In Texas,
Florida,
Georgia,
North Carolina, nearly impossible to get an abortion anywhere in the South.
Project 2025.
Project 2025.
Project 2025 would go even further.
Insert itself into every aspect of a woman's reproductive life.
Nobody knows how deep the rot goes.
Ban abortion in every nook and cranny of this country.
If Roe versus Wade can be overturned, anything can be overturned.
Literally bring us back to the 1870s.
Abortion access in Arizona is in limbo after the state's conservative Supreme Court reinstated a 19th century law banning nearly all abortions.
God bless the Dobbs majority, and the men and women who fought for decades to put them there.
This is the beginning of making this a truly pro-life country.
There's over 25 million women now of reproductive age in this country who do not have access.
1 in 3 women live in jurisdictions where they are denied abortions.
Miscarriages that are not being treated, people are bleeding out, they're getting infected. We just saw that case in Georgia.
The State Department of Health determined the death of 28-year-old Amber Thurman was likely preventable if she'd had access to abortion care in her home state of Georgia.
Women have to travel all across the country to access the care that they need. It's having an impact on people even in non-banned states.
Because North Carolina has such a high demand, she lost her spot. And losing your appointment right now could literally mean losing your life.
Thousands and thousands, I'm not exaggerating, thousands, I could keep going, of rape victims in these states which ban abortion.
And what Jonathan Mitchell, one of the creators of Project 2025, has said, we don't need to pass a national abortion ban because we have the Comstock Act.
The federal judge, Matthew Kaczmarek, ruled Friday in Texas that the leading abortion drug Mifepristone violates the 1873 Comstock Act.
The abortion pill Mifepristone will stay on the market for now, after a highly anticipated Supreme Court decision maintains the status quo for the drug's access.
What Project 2025 would do would be to twist the Comstock Act to prevent the mailing of abortion medication.
Mifepristone has made an abortion so much more accessible because a woman can do it in the privacy of her own home.
It is used in about 2/3 of abortions in this country.
Project 2025 would repeal the FDA's approval of Mifepristone.
Hurt all women across the United States, even in blue states.
It would make abortion unavailable to so many women across the country.
Limiting Mifepristone would cut off a major way that some people who live in what we call banned states are getting abortions.
And they'll reinstitute essentially the Comstock laws.
Those people who are living in states that have passed abortion protection.
It would ban abortion in those states. It would ban abortion regardless of whether the people of that state have voted to protect abortion access within their state.
Many Americans are crossing state lines to end pregnancies legally.
Under the new law here in Idaho, any adult who helps a teenager leave Idaho to terminate a pregnancy will face 2 to 5 years in prison.
Local municipalities that have actually tried to institute these kind of travel bans on people and really scare them and basically say, yes, if you don't have access here, you shouldn't have access anywhere.
It would also create a database to track women's pregnancies and miscarriages.
Figure out when women are pregnant, when are they going to the doctor, when is the birth, and what if the birth doesn't happen? Someone's going to get prosecuted.
The case of an Ohio woman has garnered national attention after she had a miscarriage and now faces criminal charges.
I mean, it's a Handmaid's Tale world that they're trying to create.
Big brother watching over a woman's reproductive pathway.
It's shocking that they put this all in writing.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Asked if there should be punishment for the man involved, Trump said no.
Because of these crazy laws, we have less OBGYNs that are in the state of Texas than we probably need.
Texas saw a 56% rise in maternal mortality between 2019 and 2022. That's compared to an 11% uptick nationwide.
The damage to women who experience miscarriages has been overwhelming.
We cannot treat you because of the 6-week abortion ban. You have to be near death.
The Biden administration argued Idaho's law directly conflicts with a federal law that requires hospitals to provide patients in an emergency whatever treatment necessary to stabilize them.
Her life is not in peril, but she's going to lose her reproductive organs. And yet Idaho says, sorry, no abortion here.
Project 2025 proposes to end the federal government's enforcement of EMTALA, which is a federal law that protects access to life-saving care.
This is the kind of situation that we would have all across the United States.
It would rescind the ACA's no-cost birth control coverage mandate. People who rely on Medicaid wouldn't be able to choose Planned Parenthood health centers for basic preventive health care services like birth control.
Birth control is also used to help women regulate painful periods, to help women who have hormonal issues.
Underneath this all is a real deep misogyny, a real deep hatred of women and the power that we've been able to assert in the last few decades. And by power, I mean actually just getting equal rights.
Abortion's not healthcare. I find it really interesting, if not worse, that you wouldn't support the change of the department name to the Department of Life. I thought we were all in support of life. We believe eminently in women's rights, and particularly women's rights in the womb.
They're trying to identify personhood as the moment of conception.
Life beginning at conception has so many different ramifications, not just on abortion, but on IVF.
Controversial ruling from the Alabama Supreme Court that frozen embryos are in fact children.
So that essentially women have no more control over their own bodies.
Imposing those specific Christian extremist religious views on all Americans.
And honestly, that is what we see laced throughout all of Project 2025.
It is cruel and inhumane, especially as it relates to women.
The thing is, it's not really about whether or not you agree with abortion whatsoever. It's about if you agree with the concept of freedom and you recognize that it won't just be the freedom as it relates to my body because I have a uterus, but it's gonna be some freedom that you care about every single day. And that's actually what's most insidious about Project 2025.